The debate is done. By the time you are watching this, LeBron either is close to or has already become the NBA's all-time leading scorer, getting harder and harder for people to not see him as the GOAT. But that's not what this video is about. What if I told you LeBron has been the GOAT for a while now, and Jordan never actually stood a chance? Jordan is actually a bum loser who lucked his way into 6 rings. This is the video that will settle the GOAT debate once and for all. First, we're going to analyze Jordan's career, handing all the data to my research team as we speak. And by research team, I mean me in different NBA jerseys. And by data, I mean Wikipedia and basketball reference pages, because I have something better than all those analytics can think of. A little secret to becoming a knowledgeable basketball god like myself. It is called the eye test, because my eyes may need glasses, but they know dogs when they see one. LeBron is the most got that dog in him player I've ever seen in my life. Well, except maybe for.
Nothing shocks me about this game.
And that Drew rim, it's still loose. Luka got it back. He did it. An improbable comeback by Dallas to tie it with 1 second left.
But let's not worry about that. That's a video for another day. Anyways, MJ, okay, fine. He has a dog in him, but it's like a different kind. You see, LeBron is like a wolf, okay? And Jordan is like a deep-voiced chihuahua. There's so much bark in them that if you ain't really look at them, then you would think they're the same size. But no, LeBron's the alpha dog. Anyways, my eye tangent leaked in today's video because whatever. Anyways, let's get the bad career over with and look at Michael Jeffrey Jordan is not as good as the media wants you to think he is. Growing up, Michael was cut from his high school team. Only he wasn't, and was actually just demoted to JV instead of varsity. Now, do I have proof? Not right now, because there's too much to talk about. Anyways, he attends North Carolina and plays for 3 years because he sucked and was too much of a bitch to go into the league and delayed it. His first year, he averaged 28 points, which is fine, that's decent. If he wasn't like 22 years old at the time, so he's basically ancient for a rookie season. Therefore, his Rookie of the Year campaign does not count. He got injured his second year because he's a petite, fragile little boy and broke his foot. He didn't win his first playoff series until he was 25. That means he was practically ancient at that point. Took him long enough. Anyways, bro's a bitch and got fucked up by the Pistons, so he worked hard the next summer. He was grinding that whole summer, and the next year, would you believe it, he still got fucked up. So he worked hard again, and again, he got fucked up, and we'll blame Scottie Pippen for having a migraine that Game 7, causing them to lose. Have we ever asked why he had a migraine? I have a solution. It's because Jordan is such a goddamn headache to be around, with his gambling and bitching in the newspapers about defense being too rough on him, that Scottie got a headache from all of it. Anyways, fast forward and they beat the Lakers at 91, but that doesn't impress me because Pippen was the main reason they won. Pippen also sacrificed any sex he may have in the future, guarding Ben Simmons with HIV at the time. They three-peated and eventually he mysteriously retired. Now, he pointed to his dad's death, but that's some bitch-ass excuse because his dad died due to Jordan's gambling addiction. Also, the gambling addiction was gonna get investigated, and we can't have our little golden boy take consequences for his actions. So, he retired and played baseball, and we won't spend too much time here because all I have to do is show the stats. Anyways, in that time, he made Space Jam. Which is so goddamn awful. Oh my god, my boy cannot act to save his life. I need to make a video about how awful this movie is. Oh my god. But there was one good thing though, because one of my friends says Lola Bunny. Okay, that's it. Anyways, he came back to try to be the Messiah in mid-season and save the Chicago Bulls. But what did he do? He ended up leading them to a loss against the Orlando Magic with like 2 good players. Bro said Shaq and Penny Hardaway is too much for him. Anyways, he folded the second he wasn't playing an HIV survivor and a balding man in Portland. I would just like to point out that in 1994, without Jordan, the Bulls made the second round and lost in 7 games. The next year, in 1995, they add Jordan, and then they lost in 6 in the second round. Therefore, the Bulls were actually better without Jordan, and he makes them worse. No coincidences, just pure correlation proving Jordan to be a fraudulent media plan. So he came back and went 72-10. Now, you may think I can't hate on this, which you would be wrong. He scored under 28 different times. LeBron would never do that. Put LeBron on that team and the Bulls go 82-0. Anyways, they won against the Sonics, but it's the Sonics, so I don't care. Next, they beat the Jazz for 2 chips, and that does not impress me because John Stockton is one of the worst point guards I've ever seen in my life. Take him out of the equation and throw in Bob Cousy, and they the same exact teams. He is also an anti-vaxxer and midget, so who cares? And Karl Malone, ooh, congratulations, he beat a certified child lover in the finals, ooh. Wait a minute. How the fuck did you lose MVP to this? Anyways, after pushing off, he rides off into the sunset because he is a bitch and can't handle the pressure anymore. Except he comes back for the Wizards in 2002 and immediately retires the second he sees LeBron coming up. Coincidence? I think not! Talking about bad basketball just gives me a headache. Anyways, let's talk about an actual goated basketball player. Luka Doncic was born in 1999. Ah, shoot, I'm 12 years too early. Okay, LeBron James was born in Akron, Ohio, which already makes him the GOAT since he's the only good thing to ever come out of Ohio. I will not be looking over his career because that video would be 2 hours long. Anyways, let's just look at the argument points Jordan fans claim to have over the GOAT LeBron James. But Tommy, Jordan has 6 rings to LeBron's 4. Okay, well, he played a child lover, an anti-vaxxer, an obese donut, Ben Simmons with AIDS, 90s Patrick Beverly, and a balding Clyde Drexler. LeBron played 2 dynasties, one 3 times and the other 4 straight years, and what should have been a future dynasty, and then a better version of Michael Jordan with a DPOY candidate. When the ring difference is only 2, that don't matter anymore, especially when the comp is that drastic. But LeBron doesn't scare people like Mike did. Mike put the fear of God in people, and LeBron just doesn't do that. Okay, well, Kendrick Perkins admitted to praying LeBron towards ACL the night before the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals Game 7.
And I ain't gonna lie, man. I was scared as hell going into that Game 7 against LeBron James. And this was the only time that I actually prayed that something happened to him at practice. I said, you know what? Like, no.
What a thing to confess.
I know, but I'm being real. Like, I was like, let us get breaking news that LeBron has, tore his ACL or something.
Jesus.
The Celtics formed a super team and sustained it just to try and beat LeBron by himself.
We didn't give a fuck about LeBron. We didn't fear LeBron, and we didn't think that he can beat all 5 of us.
So, shut up. You look dumb. LeBron only has better total numbers and records because he played so long. Jordan could have done the same. Oh, really? Wow. Then why didn't he do such a thing? That's right, because he is a coward without Pippen and Phil Jackson. But the GM forms his own teams. Yeah, because LeBron wasn't a loser like Jordan and made his small market team too good to draft anyone to pair him with. You want a man that's just gonna wait around for things to work itself out? That sounds like some bitch shit to me. My GOAT makes his own opportunities like a man. LeBron picks and chooses his roster though. Look me in the eye and tell me LeBron sat in the GM's office and told ownership this year that he wants Lonnie Walker, Dennis Schroeder, Patrick Beverly, and Juan Toscano Anderson. You really think LeBron saw the team suck last year and said, yeah, I want to run it back with no shooters and not trade Russ for Buddy and Miles Turner? You really think in 2019 LeBron saw Ingram, Hart, and Zoe and Kuzma and said, yeah, let's get rid of all of them except Kyle fucking Kuzma? You think LeBron in 2020 said, I know we just won it all, so let's change every big name besides me and Davis? That's delusional. But look at the TV ratings. LeBron never had pull like Jordan did. In the 90s, what the fuck was there to do? Nowadays, there's YouTube, Netflix, and better video games. No one is forced to watch with their grandpa on the recliner channels to anymore. so no one has to be forced to watch basketball if they don't want to.
Oh my gosh. Did you even watch The Last Dance? I bet you're like 10 years old and never even watched Jordan.
Oh, you mean that 10-hour propaganda series? Yes, I did, and that did not make me see Jordan any better.
Just stop making excuses. I hate when Bron fans make excuses.
Okay, then why did Jordan never win until the 90s? Oh, he had growing to do and his team wasn't good enough? That sounds like an excuse. Jordan don't got the scoring record because he ain't played that long? Oh, that sounds like an excuse. Anything can be an excuse, okay? The last point I would like to make after this, because look at the Google searches. Okay, now the point I would like to make is how Jordan is actually a media plant. I mentioned it before, but you probably thought I was trolling, right? No, Michael Jordan had the perfect career because that's what the media wants in our minds. They want to frame it as 6-0, battled through adversity, loyal, and dominant. They want this uplifting story from a kid that was cut from high school team to greatest of all time. The media never mentions the Wizard years because that doesn't fit their perfect career agenda. They don't mention all the years prior to the three-peats. Jordan himself made a 10-hour documentary series sucking himself off as the greatest, where they only focused on his highs, really, and when they were on his lows, they still made it seem like a really good thing. Look at these articles ESPN and other sites have made. They want to protect Jordan as a GOAT. This is a conspiracy that I feel I am cracking the surface of, but I need more time. So maybe by the end of the year I'll have it solved. I don't know. Stay tuned. In conclusion, LeBron James is far and wide better than Michael Jordan. It is time we embrace LeBron as the actual greatest player of all time and stop playing with him like he isn't.